What's going down, everybody? It's another day in paradise, and I'm Jethro. These are my opinions. So, salutations and greetings. Just wanted to make a video real quick because there's going to be a lot of, to say the least, there's going to be a lot of interesting things that happen over the next few days. Because I don't know if y'all saw it, but President Trump and JD Vance absolutely btfo'd Zelensky today at the White House. Like, it was ugly. I mean, little son of a bitch, he came to the United States and actively campaigned and endorsed Joe Biden, and it's kind of been disrespectful towards Trump going forward. And like I said, JD and the big guy, they weren't having it at all. And he kind of tried to, well, you haven't been through the war, and you know, and he kind of made a veiled threat. He said something like, you know, you're not feeling it now, but you're gonna feel it later. And Trump was like, whoa, bruh, don't you tell me or the American people how we're gonna feel, okay? We're gonna feel fucking great. We're gonna feel fantastic. Yeah, we're gonna win, and we're gonna feel so good, so good. We're gonna feel so good you won't even recognize how good we feel. We're gonna feel great. Don't you tell us how we're gonna feel. Like, you know, you little punk beggar son of a bitch. You know, where would you be without our support? It's like you ought to crawl in on your hands and knees, hat in hand, begging for more help, because we're the only thing keeping Russia at bay. Now, again, you and your fighters have laid down the lives, and I in no way am I disrespecting the Ukrainian people or the fight that they have put up to defend their homeland, because I'd do the same damn thing if Russian soldiers were trying to come into my backyard over my dead body. So, all the respect in the world to any Ukrainians who are fighting for their homeland and have paid the ultimate price for freedom in their country. But for this guy to come here and yep, and run his mouth and act like we're not the best friend that they've had in quite a while, you know, you get fucked, brother. No offense, but, you know, take your shit, get the fuck out of my office. You come back when you're ready to be a little more respectful. And, you know, the news and everybody tried to shit on him. Oh, you're not being a very good host, Mr. Trump, and you don't speak very bad of Vladimir Putin and blah, blah. And Trump told him, he's like, what do you guys want me to do? You want me to trash him? Like, you want me to talk about what an evil bastard he is right here? And then in an hour call him up and be like, oh, hey, Vlad, you ready to make that deal? It doesn't work like that. And he tried to tell him, like, I'm not on Zelensky's side. I'm not on Putin's side. I'm on the world's side. But first and foremost, I'm on the American people's side. And so it's just, there are some big changes coming in the country. And the Democrats and everybody, you just gonna, I mean, y'all, you can fight it if you want to, but it's not gonna do you any good, okay? I mean, the Southern District Office of the FBI in Manhattan is basically, you know, in like the terms of Game of Thrones, like it's in open rebellion against the Iron Throne. Like, it's garbage. You know, the Attorney General, who has been chosen by the President, who was duly elected by us, the people, has thus appointed his AG, and the AG has told the FBI, you will hand over all evidence and all documents pertaining to Jeffrey Epstein. And they're basically being like, nah. Or, oh, we promised, we gave everything to you. And it's like, bro, we got pictures of evidence that we don't have. So it's going to get real uncomfortable real quick, because this isn't going to be, you know, the AG Pam Bondi. She sent a letter to Kash Patel, and everybody's kind of, oh man, she told Kash what for, and it's like, you idiots. She didn't send the letter to Kash, or like she sent it to Kash, but it wasn't for Kash. It was for everybody else, but mainly for the public and for the media to know that, hey, I've told y'all I want the evidence. I know you're hiding stuff. Kash, you need to open an investigation into it. And you also need, by 8 a.m. today, need to get me everything. Everything that was taken from the Epstein case. Any evidence, I don't care how or when it was procured. Y'all turn over everything. And, I mean, hell, the charges that could come up, obstruction of justice, conspiracy, I mean, literally, sedition and treason aren't off the table. Like, just because you think Donald Trump is a meanie or an idiot or whatever, doesn't matter. He has been elected. And the way we do things, you don't get to decide what orders you do or don't follow. And your piece of shit judges aren't going to be able to hold this off. Like, entire bureaucracies are going to burn over this. I mean, I get it. And there's a bunch of people who are probably going to get caught up in this because they were told to do certain things. And they probably were like, hey, I just, can we do this? Is it legal? And it's like, buddy, no one's ever going to come asking questions about this. Remember, I had talked about in a previous video, the land of unintended consequences. Well, y'all are swimming through it. I mean, there's a reason they tried to get him in July back in Pennsylvania last year. It was to stop all of this from happening. People asking questions. And I mean, dude, anybody who believes that Epstein self-deleted is an idiot, okay? That was a straight up murder. Plain and simple. Pretty sure he worked for the Mossad. Might even have been a contract agent for the CIA as well and working both sides. But he definitely got a lot of money from somewheres. I mean, hell, William Barr, the piece of shit attorney general during Trump's first administration, his dad hired Epstein way back when to be a teacher at Dalton, which is a very exclusive boarding school in New York, I believe, or somewhere in the Northeast. And then William Barr himself, his law firm, is who's responsible for getting Epstein that sweetheart deal when he was getting a whole bunch of charges. He'd been convicted and he got nobody convicted of that stuff gets a sweetheart deal like that unless you got something over people. Or you're, like I said, or you're a spy and you have connections. But he never should have gotten that deal, but it was William Barr's law firm that did it. So they're corrupt up to their fucking eyeballs. And they're trying to hide all this because just a couple of the people that we know about. Bill Clinton, Richard Branson, Prince Andrew, Bill Gates. And I'm sure there's a laundry list of other names that are going to come out of oh, recognize that guy. Oh, recognize that. Oh, recognize that. Oh, recognize that guy. Yeah. And, oh my God, you guys are so fucked. I mean, all you gotta do, have you seen the interview with Melinda Gates? Like, apparently how it went down, like I said, she knew Bill was hanging out with Epstein, and she said she didn't like it, and then basically refused to answer any questions. She's like, Bill's gonna have to explain that to you. And she's protecting her children. Because she does, but she doesn't want her children to know what kind of scumbag their father is. The kind of guy that goes to a private island and does to children what we all think happened down there. Mr. Gates. Like I said, either in this life or the next, I have no doubt karma is going to catch up with you, sir. And what's owed will be paid. I have no doubt. And maybe it'll be in this lifetime if we ever get the full unredacted reports. But you people are sick. And the fact that this predator was allowed to run loose, it's crazy. The same people that scream and holler that Donald Trump is the biggest whatever. It's like, oh, I just picture you with Harvey Weinstein and Bill Clinton and Richard Branson and Bill Gates, and God, they just look like they're some of your favorite people, because that's who you roll with. Okay, it's like another couple things. Like it's gonna be crazy to see how it all unfolds. Another thing. What else did I write down? Excuse me. Yeah, we talked about Trump, BTFO, and Zelensky. We were showing that man who's really in charge. And in the words of IQ, bow down, sucker. Let's see. Caroline Levitt, I love you. I didn't think I could fall for anybody as hard as I did for Kayleigh McEnany, but girl, you are beautiful to watch skewer these idiots in the media. And again, the people, you're gonna have to, because like, can you see this coming? Like, wouldn't this be awesome? After an entire year, like once they get done with all the bullshit, liberal judges trying to slow this down and stop it, and once they uncover, the billions, if not trillions of dollars in corruption and waste, I would really love it if next year, like Trump came out and he said, guess what, America? Guess what? Because of Elon's hard work and things that he's discovered at Doge, we have saved so much money for the American taxpayer that we literally, for this year, we can afford to do a one-time, like maybe if we get back on track, we can definitely lower taxes. But for right now, any person who makes more than, we'll say more than 250,000, 300,000. Like I said, anyone who makes more than $250,000 a year, you still have to pay your taxes. But anybody who makes less than $250,000 a year, you don't have to pay tax. You don't have to pay federal income taxes this year. In fact, work the numbers and send in your return like you normally would, and you will still get a return. So you're going to get a return for the taxes for the whole year, and then you're also going to get a refund on top of that. Because we saved so much money, we don't have to milk you guys this year. So thank Elon and everyone else. If he's able to do this, like I said, this is just my own spitballing, but this is what I would do if I was him, and Elon uncovers trillions of dollars in waste and is able to save that. Give the taxpayers a break. His numbers would shoot through the roof. And I mean, I literally would start looking at these congressional people, and I would just say this: any of you who play the stock market, we'll just say what's the average, whatever the average return for the everyday American is, and I would say it's probably somewhere in the order of 8 to 12% a year, something like that. It's a pretty safe return. It's better than putting it in a bank account. But I would take a look at some of these congressional people and go, wow, so you came into Congress and your net worth was X. And here we are 20 years later, and your net worth is X plus 100 million, which is crazy because you make like, what, 150 grand a year? So how have you accumulated such wealth? Wow. Inside, like, you play the stock market, wow, and while the average return for everyday Americans is, like I said, I'd guess somewhere between, like I said, 7, 8 to 12, maybe 15%. I don't know, guessing. I ain't got it like that. Hopefully one day I'll learn about investing, but not yet. But how'd y'all come up with that money? And now we look at it, it's like, wow, 8 to 12% return. Your stock, your stock trading has netted you 1,833% returns on all your investments. That's amazing. How'd you do it? It's easy. They cheated. And they sit up there on that podium and they wag their finger. Rules for thee, not for me. Like, the exposure is coming, and all these people can piss, moan, and whine. But again, Shakespeare, I believe, said it. The lady doth protest too much. I think that's what we're seeing out of all these government folks. Because again, oh no, like their Meals on Wheels might have to cut back, and other things might have to cut back, and it's like, yeah. I mean, honestly, I just think every dollar of foreign aid needs to be reevaluated and then possibly taken back or reallocated. Because we do have to help some of our allies, but honestly, again, we are $30 trillion in debt. We have American veterans that sleep on the street. Our airports suck. If you've ever been to any other international airport, they're gorgeous, and ours look like rundown shitholes. Like, it's ridiculous. And we're supposed to be the wealthiest nation on the planet. Well, the amount of money these people are siphoning off is absolutely ridiculous. And they've been running rampant for God knows how many decades. And it's time for some truth, transparency, and it's coming. And the Epstein list and the reallocation of funds and everything, trust me, I think even though only about half of the country, a little more than half of the country right now approves very strongly of what Donald Trump is doing, I believe hundreds of years from now, I think our country will still be here, and not in small part because of this man. But he is literally going to fundamentally change the way the citizenry looks at the government and holds them accountable. Because it took somebody. Again, he can't be bought. And to these people, again, Pennsylvania happened for a reason. It was to stop all of this from happening. He loves our country, and he's trying. I honestly believe in my heart he is trying to fix a broken system that is just being milked and abused by these bureaucratic swamp fucking lizard people that need to get booted the fuck out of town. That's all I've got to say about that. Lord help us. And Lord, please watch over Trump. You know, it's so crazy. It is so crazy. And to see Zelensky walk up into the White House and act the way that he did today, Donald Trump was right to toss him out on his ass. You're kidding me. You really, again, Trump told him, you ain't holding the cards. You think you holding aces? Brother, you don't even got playing cards, all right? So, this is how it is. Sorry to burst your bubble, but the Alzheimer's patient isn't in charge anymore. I don't know who in the fuck you were dealing with for the last 4 years, but they're not here either. Adios, amigo. YOYOMF. Y'all figure out what that means. So anyways, I wore my Bears shirt because we're going to be so good next year. I'll have a couple Bears videos coming out as free agency and the combine finishes up, and we get a better picture of how the team's going to look. But damn, it sucked. Like Trey Henderson, a guard from Kansas City who's really good. They franchise tagged him, so that sucks because I was really hoping we could sign him, because if we get some meat up front to protect Caleb Williams, brother, sky's the limit. Bears about to be the new dynasty in the NFL. I've been waiting my whole life for it, so it's going to be awesome. But If anybody has anything they want to add on to the conversation, please leave a comment. And I love y'all. Be good or be good at it. This is Jethro signing out. We'll see you on the flip side.